It is episode 2 of the Weege Show. We found Davi Millsaps here in the BTOsports.com trailer up. Hook up your sponsor because I'm not paying you. Yeah, I'm sure. The Weege, you like that?
I like it.
All right, good. We talk about real things here, not racing, real stuff, real talk, real answers. With you, I'm going to ask about real estate. Because, well, we can't keep up. There's like, Davey was from Kissimmee, and then he had a track, and then there's also MTF, and then there's California. Where are you at now? What do you have now? What happened to your old stuff? Where do you live?
I live in Marietta, California right now. I am from St. Cloud. Well, I was born in Orlando. Grew up in St. Cloud.
Yeah.
And then from St. Cloud, we moved to Cairo, Georgia. Lived in Cairo. I moved to Tallahassee, and then still have my place in Cairo. And then bought place in Climax, Georgia, but still lived in Tallahassee.
Okay.
And then sold my house in Tallahassee, moved to California, but still have my Climax place. And then, ended up selling it. I still have Alabama.
You still have Alabama? I didn't even know there was an Alabama.
I still have, I got land in Alabama. I got like 212 acres in Alabama. It's been for sale for like the last, 4 or 5 years.
You want to put in a plug? Where can people find info on this?
It's so far out in the middle of nowhere. It's just a bunch of land that we bought. We were going to get shut down in Cairo with noise ordinance and stuff like that. So we ended up buying land I bought land in Alabama so we could move everything. And then we ended up winning the noise ordinance. So we didn't need the land. But hey, it's land.
Is it an investment? You're going to make money someday on this?
If I sell it right now, no.
Okay.
But at this point, it is what it is.
Okay, so at one point there's Cairo, and everybody knows there's Cairo. Is it? So you're not the king of?
No.
You're the king of Cairo, not Cairo.
I'm not a pharaoh.
Could you be the king of Climax?
I can.
Okay. I don't know if we want to go there.
Yeah.
Now, when you mentioned Cairo, there's MTF, but you had your own track there, correct?
Yes, we lived, obviously we lived there a long time before MTF was even, a thought. And so we had 100 acres or 99, whatever. And, we had 2 Supercross tracks. And then we'd also build a Daytona track in the middle of the outdoor track. We had an outdoor, we had a pond. For all the watering and stuff. Yeah. So, we lived there, and then, MTF was built, and then you had both places to go, back and forth to.
So the place you were riding in was the original place. MTF came in separate after that.
Yes.
Gotcha. And then what changed for you to decide, I'm just in Marietta, California now?
Well, in my contract when I signed back in 2008, I had to be in California.
I see.
And so California I went.
But didn't you go back during the East season, during the Nationals?
I would go back during the East races.
Right.
As you know, I haven't really made that many Nationals.
I see.
So I never really had to go back anywhere. I raced a couple rounds and then I just stayed where I was. But obviously during the East Coast, it makes it a lot easier to be back on the East Coast, just for flight traveling and riding and stuff like that. More so for me, it was the flights, not having to get up at the crack of dawn, and then you lose the whole day traveling just to get to where you're going by nighttime. So, being able to get up in the morning whenever you want, it's only an hour flight or 2 hours flight, it makes it a lot nicer. But, I don't have land in Georgia anymore, so California bound I am.
So all the riding you do now, 12 months a year, just California?
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yes.
It's weird because everyone attaches you to MTF, but it really wasn't anything to do with you, really. It's run by your mom. Do you ever think about that, like 10 years from now? I assume maybe you'll be retired in 10 years, maybe, and think, I left this legacy, my name.
I hope I'm retired in 10 years. Goodness gracious.
I didn't want to bury you, but you're okay with that.
I mean, I give all the props to John Dowd, but, if I'm 38 years old, there's no way I'm racing Supercross.
Well, I was going to ask this then. Okay, let's be honest. The last 2 or 3 years, you've gone through some lows, injuries, trying to come back, team stuff, trying to come back. Did you consider not doing what you're doing this year? Did you at one point say, man, I don't know?
It wasn't, man, I don't know. It was more so, it's hard, it's tough, especially, when you're not on salary, you're basically on bonus only program, and obviously that's never guaranteed. So, it was like, I want to do the work, I want to make it better.
Get hooked up here. Good job.
I want to do good and help myself for 2017. So, obviously there's a time where you're just, you kind of sit back and you're just like, there's a lot of other things I could do, and there's a lot of other things I can make, good money at. So, did I want to go that route? But I'm still young, and I still want to do some more in the sport, and hopefully in the next couple of years, I won't have to have a comeback. I can just keep this going, and I don't really count last year as me racing. This year has been a lot of roller coaster for me, and with last weekend crashing and tearing the ligament from my thumb, and making it difficult for this weekend. It's just one of those things where this season's kind of a building season for next year.
But you said something interesting. You can grab your drink there. Oh, it's his. Okay, good job, Dane. You weren't racing this year because you're like, this is what I have to do to make ends meet. Like, you have other things you could do. You're racing because you want to race.
Yes, which is, I think that was the biggest thing for me. I had to make that decision, and like I said, I'm on bonus only. There's no salary, so that's what makes it the hardest. Because you do have a family support, so I'm not able to go out and do other things to bring in income. So racing is what it is. But at the end of the day, hopefully 2017 I can be back on a solid program and work towards being up in the front a lot more, because I know I still have the speed. It's just right now it's not knowing the pace that I had to be at, not knowing the speed, and when I'm riding by myself, I ride by myself all off season because no one's really there.
It's California.
No one's in California.
Yeah.
So I ride by myself, and you don't get that intensity. So try to get it back at the races, but you only get 26 laps to get it. So you got to kind of race yourself back into shape, and it sucks. Don't get me wrong. I wish from way back when that I would have stuck with a solid program and just kept stuck with it and never stopped. But we're young. We made a lot of money. Well, I made a lot of money back then. A lot of people do in this industry, and just you get lost, man. So it's I'm glad I went through it though.
Sounds like this is one of those. If you knew then what you know now.
Yeah, I'm old. I'm wiser now, and I look at people that are going through what I went through, and it's just like I wish I could just slap them,
Sure.
Because the money doesn't last forever. So
especially when you're buying 212 acres.
Well, that was actually cheap though compared to what you think. Yeah.
Okay. Well, it was middle of nowhere, like you said.
I got the 212 acres for a little bit more than what I got an acre for in California.
Oh, that was a reasonable investment. Okay,
There's a house on my land now. There's a house on my 1 acre. There's no house in Alabama.
Yeah, you're just waiting to sell that. Okay, my last thing, real quick, because I think I've heard you say this before. You're not like, if your son wants to race, you're not pumped on that, right?
See, everyone takes that wrong though.
Okay.
And
I understand where you're coming from. I got a little one, and I'm like,
everyone takes it as, oh, look what the sport has done for you, and yada yada yada. But
yeah, but the sport sucks sometimes too.
well, you got the injuries, and if you look at it, you're going to go through so many years of going to the races and never knowing if he's going to make it.
Yeah.
Until you get to so far down the road to where he has never done anything else, and he's only done that, to where if he doesn't make it, then he has to start all over doing something else. And I get it's the same thing kind of with football and soccer and golf, but when you're doing football and you're doing golf and you're doing soccer, you're still going to school. You're still getting that whole aspect of your life, and you're doing that stuff. Where over here, like this consumes your life,
Yes.
But it's
better than anybody.
It's not a bad life. Don't get me wrong. It's not a bad life, but if he wants to race, then hopefully he can afford his own bike.
No, but I get it. You were, like it or not, you're connected now to the full-time training facility. Your name is on it, even if you're not running it. So the sacrifice that it takes.
Yeah, the sacrifices, and it's hard on the family. It's hard on all families. It's a lot of money.
Yeah.
And you don't get a scholarship to go pro. So
That's right.
you got to pay for most of it.
Okay. Like it or not, you change the way the game is played with the training facilities and whatnot, even if you're not there anymore. So this is what we're all up against.
Hey, that was my mom. She does great over there. She has the whole facility going, and at the end of the day, it's good for kids that are already in it or want to be in it. But I've been in this sport for 25 years now, and I mean, seriously, to do it again, I don't want to be in it when I'm 50. You know what I mean? Like, come on. You know, I want to be retired and you know, hanging out with my family and just chilling on my boat.
Maybe buying and selling real estate for profit.
That's what the wife wants to do. She wants to flip homes. So, hey, you never know, but.
If you have land you're trying to sell for the last 5 years, maybe not.
Hey, well, it's not me. I mean, seriously, I've been there one time, so I don't really know where it's at. So, I mean, if anyone wants to buy it, please hit me up. Nice little plug.
See ya. I like it. Go to work. See ya.